Wake the thing up. Up the stairs. So that's the red door then. It's actually very still, so we can't call it dreich. Dreich is wet and windy in Norwich. You've got to have some wind. Oh Lord. The tiny baby chair. It's quite strong though. I'm afraid I'm rather large now. Overweight. Broken left leg, can't walk. Right. To continue. An evil woman. Well, God has been teaching me through an evil woman, my former wife, for 31 years, for heaven's sake. My mother was just a wonderful lady, a gentlewoman, a maternity sister. I used to bring my socks back from Bristol University, where I was studying to be a medical doctor, back to Mill Hill, northwest London, for mother to mend, and my washing. I was 19 years old, for heaven's sake. Mind you, someone once called me a mummy's boy. I don't think so. I'm the second child of that marriage. My brother's in Harley Street, Dr. Keith Bush, number 6, Harley Street. I mean, in a really bad year, he might earn as little as £1 million. Sterling, that is. He's a top sports injuries medical consultant now. I'm 64, he's 3.5 years older, so he's heading for actually March the 23rd is his birthday. Heading for 68, but I'm sure he's still working hard. I'm afraid we rather don't get on, for a reason anyway. I won't go into that. But I was the second child, very, very much wanted by my mother. My own father was worried about his finances, and he was getting on a bit, and etc., etc. Children and babies are very expensive little things. And anyway, mother obviously and there we are. And then my own father died when I was only 3 months conceived, in fact. So I never actually knew my own father, but mother always spoke so well of him. My hair is still centre parted. He was fought on the Somme, First World War, from King's Lynn, so the Royal Norfolks. They all had these centre partings and the Sam Brown belt and all of that. He was born in 1897 and sired me in, obviously, 1955. I was then born the following September 1956, which makes me 64 years old. I'm not a child. I've definitely been around the block by now. And I had a former wife, and she's been my teacher about evil in a woman. I had no idea women could behave like that. I'm not going to go into the whole story, but my son committed suicide eventually at the age of 18. Poor little fellow was growing up to be a man, and his mother hated men because her father... and he was denied the love of his father and his father's family through the English courts. So I spent years, acres of my life, just hanging around English courts, trying to understand what it's all about. And basically, it is this: woman is evil. You see, that's why it says so in the Bible. Adam and Eve. Woman is evil. I'll say it again. Woman is evil. They will tell lies. It is a fundamental part of their nature. There's the story of Adam and Eve. Why is that there? Genesis. I've always thought Genesis is a sort of kind of a mythical, apocryphal, kind of mishmash of what people believed and thought, and I kind of squashed it all together and tried to make some sort of sense of it. Woman is evil. That's what God says. Yes, of course, there are beautiful, fine women. But basically, fundamentally, woman is evil. I didn't expect to be saying that 3 times. I'm now in the midst of another experience of this. This woman has made her decision to use her child as a weapon to try and bring me down with her lies. I never thwacked a child. Please. Of course I didn't. I mean, just, well, as I've said already, the insult is that the sort of painful aspect of it is that anyone could even suggest I might have done, quite frankly. You know, where there's smoke, there's fire. Oh, believe me, you tickle with this tiger's tail, dear, you won't just get fire. But that's not the point. I don't go around thwacking children with my staff. Yes, I've got big, strong lungs. Yes, I will use them, if necessary. It's my defence mode. I've been attacked on a regular basis over the decades wearing my Christian tunic with my old staff by youth. And one of my defences is just to turn around and look them in the eye. After a few minutes, they sort of just wither because I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm just thinking, how sad, actually. Another defence is to yell like Billy-O. And I've got big, strong lungs. I really do have a big, strong voice. I never attack them. There'd be a trail of blood from here to kingdom come. Every youth who's attacked me in the last 20 years, quite frankly, I've never done that. I mean, that's the whole point. What sort of Christian am I? You know, when they strike me on one cheek and I don't turn the other cheek. That's what I believe. That's how one ought to behave. So to turn round, I mean, to thwack a child with my staff, it's just such, I mean, I refuse to let it be painful, but it is painful, actually. What planet is this woman on? Anyway, I shall fight. I am a fighter. It is painful, isn't it? I've done nothing there. I've just turned up. What's all this about? I'm the one who's blooming homeless now. Fortunately, I've got the money to book in, but then in the past I had a beautiful sleeping bag. I'd just go and curl up somewhere. No accommodation costs, for heaven's sake. I'm bunging out 50, 60, 70 quid a night. Well, what are my little troubles? I'm not in Yemen, am I? Or Syria? Or the Gaza Strip? Just pick a country where there's real trouble. If I didn't love God through Christ, this sort of stuff is the sort of stuff that actually makes people commit suicide. women doing this. Men commit suicide over it. Curiously, when I was staying at the Premier Inn, this chap potted by 2 in the morning in Newcastle last week, or whenever it was. Was last week. With a little carrier bag with his sleeping bag in it. So they've got a 3-year-old child, and he's put the house in her name, and she's kicked him out. Huh. His brother committed suicide last year, and his father has done the same. And he's wandering around on the streets of Newcastle with that going around in his head. The anniversary of his brother's suicide, I think. He hanged himself somewhere. Well, this current evil woman, the Polish woman, she could have been a outer Mongolian, for heaven's sake. I've said that once, and actually Mongol people are wonderful. They've got this thing, right? It's dead cold there, and so the winters you have to have food stored up. So they run, horses gallop. It's part of their culture, the step thing. Anyway, they're up on the hill, and they've got an eagle, and they see an animal down below, right? They send the eagle down, whack, knocks it out, and then they gallop like Billy-O on this horse, bareback, just bang. Beautiful, 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 riding like hell. And the animal is stunned, you see, down below, and that's then meat for the winter. They're beautiful people. Anyway, I'm a Christian. I love God. I love people. This woman I must love, okay? This is St. Paul speaking in Romans chapter 12, rather. 12. I've read it countless times. You must love those who hate you. Feed them and water them and wish them a long life, to repent of their evil. That's the note I'm going to end on. Enough of me. Amen. The red door.